You guys, I just watched The Marvels. The first thing that sticks out is how they introduced the villain. You've seen Loki, Ultron, Thanos. You'll notice the small things, like how the camera swings around, how the mood slowly shifts. You wanna know how they introduced Dar-Benn, this movie's villain? Yep, there she is, just standing there. Oh, oops. Let me get out of the way. Don't want to mess up my shoes. And to show us the threat she's about to become, she does this. Remember in Infinity War, when Thanos gets the Space Stone? With that distortion bubble, blinding light, and kickback, you felt that in your bones. Now I can understand there's a big difference between the all-powerful Infinity Gauntlet and a silly little quantum band. But if we're not trying to visually improve what has come before, then why are we even trying at all? Later on, Monica Rambeau dumps a whole bunch of exposition.
Our joint exposure to these unsteady jump points and our susceptibility to electromagnetic energy has temporarily entangled our world lines.
Yeah, that right there.
It kind of reminds me of this scene in Wakanda Forever, where every word out of Okoye, Shuri, and Riri's mouth just listed off everything we needed to know for the upcoming chase scene.
Listen, we need to work together to get out of here.
Does this vehicle work?
Everything in this lab works, including this bike.
Don't even think about it.
Woo! Don't tell me that you built this.
That thing can fly.
Marvel dialogue is starting to feel unnatural, sometimes downright stupid.
If we want to unpunch it.
Did she just say unpunch? Did a 10-year-old write this line? And while the MCU has always relied on talking fast as a substitute for humor, it's becoming pretty obvious when it works.
It's like, damn, homie, she dumped it when you're on lockup. Like, yeah, I know, I thought I was gonna be with her forever. And he says, you know what, I'm Scotty, and we're gonna be best friends.
And when it doesn't.
This is the quantum realm, and you have to shrink to get in the quantum realm. So we shrunk, and right now we're really small. So we're small right now.
In the next scene, Fury tells Monica that she has to fly.
But technically, I haven't done that yet.
And then she immediately does it. Later, Monica tells Carol that she has to jumpstart a sun.
I've never done anything like that before.
And then she immediately does it. Imagine if Thor had said, "But I've never taken the full force of a star before." Or if Banner had said, "But I've never punched a Leviathan in the face before." Sometimes you just gotta shut up and do it. We don't need this meandering pep talk for something we all know you're gonna do anyway. As the story progresses, Kamala's family tags along with Fury into space because... why, exactly?
They insisted.
Oh, they insisted. Okay. I don't want to sound like an old man, but going to space used to mean something in Marvel movies. In Endgame, while most people remember shots like this, or this, I always think back to this one. Captain America, who at that point has seen everything from talking raccoons to literal gods walking the earth, is still visibly shaken with his first trip into space. And with this simple shot of his eye slowly widening, we get that, with no words needing to be spoken. But this...
Hey babe, so I'm in this crazy space elevator and we're going up, or...
kinda cheapens it. Space in the MCU has become a punchline, something anyone can cross with ease. The was that? And apparently anyone can breathe in. Do you guys not need helmets? Anyone? Do you not need a helmet? Stop with the duck lips. Do you not need a helmet? That's a Flerken, dumbass. It's an alien. Aliens can just survive out in space. Oh yeah? Then why did Ebony Maw go out like this then? Now let's talk about the volume. Before, actors had to perform against giant green walls. Now, thanks to this new technology, they can see the environment that will end up in the final image on screen. While you'll always hear the cast and crew talk about how great it is, there's no escaping how it all just feels like a Star Wars ride at Disneyland, or how it makes big battles feel like they're taking place in a friggin' closet? At the end of the movie, when Fury and Kamala's family hurtle towards Earth at thousands of miles per hour and crash violently, yeah, they're all dead, right? Nope. Just walk it off. Do some stretches. You don't even need to be an expert to see that they're surrounded by screens. Maybe it's how muddy everything is, how tight the camera's locked on all the actors. You guys couldn't just go to a park? This is starting to feel like a TV show, and therein lies a big problem. The Disney Plus effect. While you could argue how good the Disney Plus Marvel shows have been so far, it's clear they're pumping mountains of cash into making sure everything looks as cinematic as possible. But something funny starts to happen when your shows look as good as your movies. Your movies start feeling like shows. You start to see how its $275 million budget was divided. Ominous invasion of a fleet of menacing warships? About 30 actual bad guys. Epic resolution where Captain Marvel saves an entire planet? About 15 trash bag people. No, you're good. just keep walking forward. And it's not just the jarring transitions from grand CG shots to bumpkin-ass close-ups. It's how all the props feel unfinished, like this on Fury's desk. What is this? I've seen more intricate design on these things, and I can make a whole video on holograms throughout cinema. From Solo to Shang-Chi, Black Panther to Blade Runner, there's usually something interesting about how they look, from the way they glitch to the colors affecting their surroundings. The holograms in this movie are, I hate to say it, a bit uninspired. And this call ended should be flipped to face Kamala, right? Nick Fury was flipped a few seconds earlier. Why do I notice these things? And the baffling decisions continue. Like, whose idea was it to have bad guys dressed in all black from head to toe, with dark face paint, fight in dimly lit hallways that are also painted black? It's not like the creative team doesn't understand light and color. Shots like these show that they do. So, what happened here? What's going on? And the very first time we see all three heroes with their costumes, they show them from the back as they're walking down some stairs, and then they just stand there. The bad guys in Baby's Day Out had a more epic introduction, and anytime a character in a Marvel movie changes their appearance, I think back to this part in She-Hulk.
You must first transform back to Jennifer.
Why?
You are very expensive.
Oh, sure.
But wait until the camera is off you.
Better?
Marvel should have never gotten so meta, because now I can't unsee it when they switch shots and tie them together with some pixie dust. The cost cutting in Marvel movies is becoming pretty obvious. Towards the end of the movie, as our heroes have their final bone-crunching battle, which doesn't leave a single mark or strand of hair out of place, Dar-Ben tears a hole in space-time.
That is a different reality bleeding into ours.
Yeah, that might have been a cooler concept if we didn't already see it at the end of No Way Home. It's not Marvel's fault. After making 32 films, things are bound to get a little repetitive. But one thing I can't forgive is when Kamala and Carol combine their powers to charge up Monica, and their hair can't even move a little bit. You might say I'm nitpicking, but this display of power you're seeing,
The same amount of power that punched a hole in the fabric of space-time?
could have looked a lot more believable if you had just bought a $15 fan off Amazon and blew it in their general direction. When hair is this static during such a pivotal moment, it tells me that they just couldn't be bothered about the details. But at the risk of sounding unfair, let me list off a few things I actually liked about the movie. There's a moment when Monica shares that her mom died during the blip, and Kamala and Carol come in for a hug. It wasn't them teaming up in a fight scene that sold their chemistry to me, but a little moment like this. Then there's a training montage where the trio learns how to adapt to their body switching. It was creative, well executed, and showed off all three actresses having fun. But that's pretty much it. I wasn't a fan of Kamala beating up an army with a scarf, or a bunch of Flerkens swallowing people whole. How does that work anatomically? And most of all, I wasn't a fan of the ending.
Kate Bishop, I'm putting together a team, and I want you on it.
Remember the end credits of Thor: The Dark World? We saw Sif and Volstagg meet the Collector, leading right up to the first Guardians movie and setting up the Infinity Stones.
1 down, 5 to go.
Now that was hype. Different worlds gradually bleeding into each other, the threat of a looming power inching ever closer. This, I'ma throw up, I swear. Anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble. Hey, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.